Today, I'll be revealing the 5 retirement savings shifts to be made at age 55 that can completely transform the financial future for people looking to retire within 5 to 10 years. Through years of working with people in retirement planning, I've identified specific mid-50s strategies that dramatically improve retirement outcomes when implemented during this crucial window. That's what today's video is about, walking you through a few key shifts in how you approach retirement savings. These are adjustments that can improve your long-term financial security, especially if you make them well before your 60s. Even small changes now can add up to meaningful impact in your retirement outlook. So let's get started. The first shift you can do is to maximize your catch-up contributions. So turning 55 opens a valuable window for retirement savers, especially those who are looking to make up ground. At this stage, you're often in the peak earning years with fewer financial obligations, and the IRS allows catch-up contributions that can accelerate your savings. So for example, 2025, those age 50 and older can contribute an extra $7,500 to their 401k for a total of $31,000. Then from ages 60 to 63, a new rule increases that catch-up limit even further to $11,250 per year beyond the standard limit. So these higher contribution ceilings paired with compounding growth can add up to over $100,000 of extra on top of your retirement savings in just 8 years. You can also layer your strategies. Don't just stop at your 401k. If you're over 50 and your income is below the phase-out limits, you can also contribute an extra $1,000 to a traditional or Roth IRA, bringing your total up to $8,000 for the year. You might even be able to do an extra $8,000 for your spouse. Now, that may not sound like much on its own, but when you combine that with the higher 401k catch-up contributions, you're building multiple tax advantage buckets to grow side by side. Another big tax advantage of catch-up contributions is the potential tax benefit, especially during your peak earning years, which includes many people who are in their 50s and early 60s. Contributing to a traditional 401k or IRA reduces your taxable income now when you may be in a higher tax bracket, and that can be a powerful savings tool. But it's important to remember that tax deferral isn't tax elimination. What feels like a benefit today can create a larger tax bill later if all of your income in retirement is coming from tax-deferred accounts. And that's why I often like to talk to clients about balancing their contributions between their pre-tax and their Roth options, or at least planning ahead for future withdrawals. You see, the goal isn't to just save taxes now, it's to manage taxes across your entire lifetime. And traditional 401ks and Roth 401ks are 2 great tax planning tools that can help you to manage that. While maximizing your catch-up contributions creates substantial impact, equally important is the second shift people make at 55, and that is strategic allocation adjustments that better align with their crucial pre-retirement phase. Turning 55 is a smart time to revisit your investment allocation, not because you need to start backing away from risk, but because your spending needs are getting clearer. So at this stage, you're likely within 10 to 15 years of drawing from your portfolio, and that's when good planning, not just safer assets, becomes more important. The common advice is to shift heavily into bonds or conservative funds as retirement approaches, but that assumes market volatility is your biggest threat. In reality, the bigger risks are running out of money or watching inflation quietly eroding your purchasing power. So rather than reducing your exposure to equities just because you're getting older, this is a great time to become more intentional about how your portfolio supports your future income needs. One of the biggest vulnerabilities I see is when people overcorrect and become too conservative with their portfolios. It feels safe to load up on bonds or cash, but that safety is often short-term. Over time, those safer assets may struggle to keep up with inflation, especially when interest rates are low or declining. And that means that your money is slowly losing purchasing power. Even if your balance looks stable, for someone who could be retired for 25 or 30 years, that's a serious long-term risk. Instead of protecting their future, many people end up limiting their growth potential right when compounding could still do some heavy lifting. A better approach is to keep a strong equity position and a plan that helps you weather the ups and downs without panicking. Rather than shifting away from equities, we focus on adjusting how the portfolio supports spending. And that means keeping a diversified mix of stocks across sectors, geographies, and company size so that you're not dependent upon one part of the market. At the same time, we want to prepare for volatility by building in flexibility, whether that's through a cash reserve, a dynamic withdrawal plan, or simply being intentional about spending in down markets. The key is not reducing your growth engine. It's planning around the natural ups and downs that come with owning equities. And that approach gives you both the resilience to handle market noise and the long-term growth potential needed to stay ahead of inflation. A lot of people default to target date funds because they're easy and they automatically adjust as you get older, but that automation can often work against you. Most target date funds reduce your equity exposure too quickly, assuming that age alone should drive your investment mix. But retirement isn't a finish line, it's a multi-decade phase of life that still requires growth. And that's why we prefer a personalized approach that considers your actual spending goals, your income sources, and your risk tolerance, not just your birth year. With a tailored strategy, you're more likely to stay invested confidently rather than reacting to short-term volatility or following a glide path that may be too conservative for your needs. Before I get to the next shift, I want to mention something. If you want to understand these crucial retirement savings adjustments better, you can click the link below to watch a short video that my team and I put together, and we'll show you exactly how to implement these strategies for your specific situation. So be sure to check that out. All right, the third shift people make is to keep multiple account types or to use multiple account types. Expanding beyond your workplace retirement plan can open up meaningful experiences to improve both how much you save and how you manage those savings. Once you're contributing the maximum to your 401k, adding an IRA, either traditional or Roth, gives you an additional layer of flexibility. In 2025, IRA limits are $7,000 annually or $8,000 if you're over 50, and those contributions can complement your employer plan by broadening your investment choices and creating more tax planning options for the future. This multi-account approach not only boosts your annual savings potential, but it also gives you more control when it's time to draw from your accounts in retirement. So having both traditional and Roth accounts in your retirement strategy can give you that flexibility that could really pay off in the later years. With traditional accounts like the 401k or a traditional IRA, you get a tax break up front. Contributions reduce your taxable income now. Now, Roth accounts, on the other hand, they don't offer immediate tax deduction, but withdrawals in retirement are tax-free. Building up both types of accounts over time can essentially give you better future options. In retirement, you can decide where to pull from based on what the tax landscape looks like, helping you to manage your tax bracket, avoid Medicare surcharges, or reduce the impact of required minimum distributions. Now, while optimizing multiple account types creates powerful advantages, the fourth shift focuses on strategic income source coordination. So that's income source coordination, and this is an important factor that many pre-retirees completely overlook. Age 55 is a great time to start getting serious about what your actual income in retirement might look like. By this point, you've probably built up a few different savings buckets, 401ks, IRAs, maybe even a pension, and you're close enough to retirement that estimates are starting to become more real. And this is when people can take a closer look at all of your income sources like Social Security, your investment accounts, rental income, part-time work, whatever applies. The goal isn't just to list them out, but to coordinate them in a way that makes the whole plan work better. So when you understand how each piece fits together, how withdrawals impact taxes, how income affects Medicare premiums, and how everything supports your lifestyle, you can make smarter, more confident decisions. So it's not just about how much you've saved, it's about how you turn that into reliable, tax-efficient income. Now, if you're one of the lucky few with a pension, this is the time to start thinking about how to get the most out of that. Most pensions are using a formula based on your years of service and your final salary. And so in many cases, working just a few more years can make a noticeable difference in your monthly benefit. It's worth running the numbers to see what staying on a bit longer might mean for your lifetime payout. But it's not just about how much you'll get, it's about how you're going to also take that money. Should you choose a single life or joint life option, lump sum, or monthly payments? So these decisions have long-term impacts, especially when coordinating it with your other income sources. So tools like pension calculators, payout comparison models, and scenario planning software can help you to weigh the trade-offs between the different choices, and that way you can choose the option that fits best for your long-term goals. Social Security timing plays a significant role in shaping your overall retirement plan. Claiming benefits early at age 62 results in a reduced monthly benefit, currently averaging around $1,350 a month, while delaying your benefit until 70 can increase your monthly benefit to about $2,150 on average. By the way, the maximum possible benefit at age 70 is $5,180 per month, assuming a higher lifetime earnings history for that worker is what Social Security calls you. You're a worker according to them. And that's a major gap. And for many people, waiting can dramatically increase lifetime income and reduce the pressure on those investment withdrawals that you're going to be making for the rest of your life. But this decision shouldn't be made in a vacuum. When you coordinate your Social Security with your other income sources like IRAs, pensions, or taxable accounts, you can improve your tax efficiency. You can create more consistent cash flow, and you can stretch your portfolio even further. See, it's not just about when you claim, it's about how everything works together. So let's examine a final shift that you can make to help you create that desired retirement reality. And that is a shift towards preservation and tax planning. See, after age 55, preservation starts to play a bigger role in your overall strategy, not just preserving assets from market loss, but preserving your ability to generate income for decades to come. You see, a good example would be the rule of 55, which allows you to take withdrawals from your 401k without penalty if you leave your job after 55. And that sounds helpful, and in some cases it is, but just because you can access those funds doesn't always mean you should. Pulling money too early can undermine the long-term growth that you need in retirement. So instead, this is a time to be thoughtful about protecting your principal, staying invested in quality assets, and avoiding emotional decisions that could lock in your losses. Smart preservation isn't about playing defense. It's about making sure your portfolio can support your future without running out of steam. Tax planning becomes a key advantage in your 50s and 60s because retirement isn't just about how much money you have, it's about how much money you keep. Withdrawals from your traditional 401ks and IRAs are taxed as ordinary income, which can create a bigger tax bill than many people expect. For example, if you're in the 22% tax bracket, every $1,000 you withdraw only nets you about $780 in taxes. Without a plan, those taxes can quietly chip away at your savings year after year. This is why it's so important to think ahead. Strategies like partial Roth conversions, timing your withdrawals carefully, or blending income from different accounts, they can help reduce your lifetime tax burden. Smart distribution planning can stretch your money further and keep more of it working for you. State taxes are often overlooked in retirement planning, but they can make a meaningful difference in how much income you actually get to keep. Some states don't tax retirement income at all, while others fully tax things like IRA withdrawals, pensions, and even Social Security. So if you're considering a move or even just planning ahead for future flexibility, it's worth understanding how your state treats retirement income. Living in a tax-friendly state could help you to hold on to more of what you've saved, especially over a 20 or 30-year retirement. Many retirees focus only on federal taxes, and they forget that where you live can add drag to your plan or give you more breathing room. It's not about chasing a tax break, but if the lifestyle fits, the tax savings are a real bonus. Now that you've seen how these retirement saving strategies can transform your financial future, let's look at how you can improve them on your specific situation. You see, the first step in making these 5 shifts work for you is getting a clear picture of where you stand today. So that means more than just checking your account balances, you need to assess how your savings, your income sources, and your tax exposure is going to line up with your retirement goals. So you think about tools like retirement income projection, tax efficiency analysis, and Social Security timing calculators. All those things can bring things into focus for you. And from there, you can quantify how much impact each shift might have, whether that's boosting your savings, reducing your taxes, or maybe just smoothing out your income. Establishing baseline metrics like your projected retirement gap, your income replacement rate, and effective tax rate can help you to see which adjustments are going to move the needle the most for you. Once you know where you stand, the next step is to prioritize. Not every shift needs to happen at once. For example, if you're in your peak earning years, ramping up your contributions might be your first move. If you're closer to retirement, coordinating income and managing taxes may take priority. The goal is to line these shifts up so that they can support each other, like matching your withdrawal planning with Social Security timing or choosing the right accounts for tax efficiency. And as your life changes, so should your strategy. You want to review your progress each year so that can help you to make sure you're keeping track of everything and it's all working together. No two retirements look the same, which means that your strategy needs to reflect your unique circumstances. Someone retiring at 58 is going to take a different approach than someone who is working until 67. And the same goes for balancing other priorities like helping kids with college, paying off a mortgage, or supporting your aging parents. Customizing these shifts means knowing which ones to lean into now and which ones you need to stage over time. And it's not a one-time decision. Personally, the way that our team does it at Brindle Bay is that we have regular reminders to check in as part of our normal process. Plus, we have systems that are monitoring other things on a regular basis, like tax planning items, portfolio drift, and monthly withdrawals for retirees so that we can make timely adjustments without missing anything important. And that kind of ongoing attention helps you to keep your plan flexible and effective no matter what life throws at you. Now you understand the 5 retirement saving shifts that you can make at age 55 to improve your plan. These are the same shifts that have helped countless clients enhance their retirement security. If you want more help with your retirement, click the link below to watch a short video that my team created where we'll show you exactly how to implement these strategies for your specific situation. We'll see you in the next video.